Welcome to Sewing Out Loud, the official podcast of ZD Sewing Studio. Here are your hosts, ZD and Mallory.
Sewing Out Loud. Hello and welcome to the podcast. I'm Mallory Donahue.
I'm ZD Donahue.
And if you like what you've been hearing, or if you think that we're a bunch of sewing snobs,
well, our sewing idiots.
Whatever.
You can let us know.
In a review on iTunes. 1 star, 5 stars, bring it on.
I really like to read the mean critical things out loud.
Yes, it provides us lots
I do it in the shop, and then I see how the employees react, and if I think they agree with it, I know who I can fire next.
That's right. Exactly. Very nice.
They call me the hitman.
Or if you think we're funny, Mom came up with a funny little phrase. You can say, bustin' at the seams, if you think we're funny. Like, ha, ha, ha. Okay. We got to record this podcast episode before my baby comes home.
It's all about jeans. The jeans I gave you and the jeans you gave Zelda.
Very nice.
Zelda and I have the same initials.
Ah, yes. Jean. Oh, that Jean.
And our middle name is Jean.
Okay, mind blown.
Jean.
Yes, and we're going to talk about Jen.
And I got Jean from the jeans from my mother. That's my mother's jeans.
Yeah, okay, we're all connected. Okay, so I made my own jeans. How do they look, Mom? I'm wearing them right now.
Oh my gosh, they look so good. I'm impressed. And isn't it hard for you to impress me?
Guys, you don't even know,
no,
okay?
No, she can impress me with anything except it takes a lot with sewing. I mean, she's a very impressive daughter. No, I'm very proud of my offspring. They're very talented. Mallory can sing. Mallory can dance. Mallory's really smart.
Publish a broadcast.
She can publish a broadcast. Yes, all these things. She doesn't drive really great, though. But
hey, you know what I did today? All of my laundry, and it's folded and put away.
Oh, yeah, you probably shrunk it or something.
No, I didn't.
She's terrible at laundry, too.
No, I didn't.
Oh, she cooks, though. She cooks really well.
Be impressed. Okay.
She also cooks really well.
So
mows the lawn really well.
You're impressed with my jeans?
And she sews well, but usually not as well as me. Let's face it. I am the high priestess of sewing
Too
in
damn
this
bad
household.
I already left my iTunes review because I could have been like snobbish as well.
I just said I'm the high priestess of sewing in this household.
So
That's what I said.
You know, guys, I made these jeans how much? Like 6 weeks ago.
Yeah. Well, I don't know. They're almost worn out because she's worn them every
every
day.
day. I didn't know that you were impressed with them until
Oh, no, I'm very impressed. And because they fit, you look so good in them. They actually, here's one. They actually make your legs look longer, and that is a feat.
That is a feat.
For us.
Yes.
We have short, stubby legs. So it is really something.
Oh, this is a feel free to compliment me episode. BT dubs. Okay, everybody. This is part of that. I forgot to start with that. And thank you, Mom, for feeling free to compliment me.
What's BT dubs?
By the way, BTW.
Oh, BTW. I thought you said...
I did say
it's
BT
dubs. Oh,
okay.
See, this is the other thing about Mallory. She can let me in on what words mean currently.
Millennial speak or something like that. Okay, so I made these jeans, and it's ginger jeans. The pattern is by Heather Lou of Closet Case Files, and she's just a total badass. She's neat lady. She's also Canadian. Talking about my Canadian people fetish so far. Okay. So I've been liking the Canadian maker DIY community a lot lately, and she published these jeans. I heard about them from like a lot of other bloggers. I was like, jeans? Do I want to make jeans? I don't know. And then we actually, Sam Bam. She got kind of the brunt of this. Project.
Because they started on poor Sam Bam.
We started on poor Sam Bam, and Sam Bam's figure is a little harder to fit than mine, and we totally screwed up her ginger jeans. Well, but that's another podcast.
Right. That's about fitting.
Yeah, that's about fitting. And so anyway, I'm like, I'm going to make my jeans, and I am so happy that I made my jeans. I cannot tell you. It is like being on some kind of illegal substance. Every time I put them on, I'm so happy they fit so well. Heather's directions in the pattern,
Very good.
they're wonderful.
It's a very well drafted pattern.
Yeah,
it
and
really is.
we carry the paper pattern in our store, and we
Right.
carry it like in our online store. And so if you want the paper pattern, I'd encourage you to order it from us. But if you'd like the PDF, you can go to her website and you
order
can
it.
print it and tape it together and
Okay,
stuff.
the other thing that I want you to convey to the audience is we had some non-fashion sewers. They're more quilters. Right.
Yeah, mhm.
And they said to you, "Oh, how long did that take you to make those?"
We're getting there, Mom.
Yeah,
Don't you
yeah,
worry. Yes,
right.
yes. Okay, so I made these jeans. Very happy with them. They fit so nicely. And actually, the day I finished them, I was up in our studio, and I kept like putting the baby down for a nap and coming up and sewing. And like Derek was home, but he had something to do, you know. And
Right.
so I kept coming up here, and I finished them, and I wore them around for like 2 or 3 hours.
Yeah.
And I thought, there's a little bit of wrinkling on the back of the leg. Like, I think maybe, because I did baste them together first. I don't know. Maybe it's okay, because then I would, like, bend my knee up to my chest or something, and they would,
Right.
you know, come up and everything. And I was like, I don't know. And we had a staff meeting that afternoon. I don't know if you remember this, okay? So we had a staff meeting. And then right before the staff meeting, I'm like, no, I need to take up the side seams a little bit. Jeans are completely finished, hemmed, everything, okay?
Right.
And so I come up here, I bring a baby parking space up here. It's this like little thing she can walk around in. And I stand in front of the mirror and I pin them down the side, take them off, transfer my markings, zoom with the serger because I used a 5-thread safety stitch, and I just finished them up, and a little tighter on one leg than the other, but that's okay. And so they really do fit nicely. But yeah, time on the jeans.
How long did it take you to make those jeans, Mallory?
Here's a few questions. How long did it take you? How much time do you have in those jeans? Well, I'm sure it took a long time. You know, these are some of the reactions I got, as well as, wow, those are awesome.
Well,
you know,
I want to
okay,
make those
yep.
too. You got a
Yes,
lot of those
yes,
compliments.
Yes, we got, you know.
Oh, and those look great on you.
Well-
and the ultimate, your butt looks great in them.
That's right.
I mean, who doesn't try on a pair of jeans and immediately turn around and look at their butt in the mirror? That's what we all
and
do.
Heather mentions that in her pattern, and you know what else she says that is freaking hilarious?
Because that is universal, whether you're in Canada or
No, she says-
wherever, Timbuktu. You put on a pair of jeans, a woman looks at her butt first.
She said, you want your butt to look good. And then she's talking about crotch, like, alterations and stuff. And she goes, we all might have, you know, you might have to alter the crotch. Everyone's different because all of our crotches are special snowflakes or something. I just crack it up.
Just like snowflakes, they're all different. but
Yes,
special.
different and
Yes.
special. Okay.
Mhm.
So how long did it take me? And I honestly do not exactly know. I didn't like start a stopwatch. I work in a sewing store, which does not mean that I get to sew all the time. It means that I try to bring things back and forth from home to the store, and I get interrupted because people want to buy sewing machines, and I'm so happy to sell them to them, and, you know, blah, blah, blah. And but I do have to get things sewn so I can teach classes on them and whatnot. And when this podcast is released, I bet that I'm finishing up jeans class.
Right.
Right now, over these few weeks.
There's a jeans class planned, and everybody's excited
over these
about
few
it.
weeks, you know, we'll be making ginger jeans at ZD's. Okay, so I think about 10 hours
Okay.
from cutting out.
10 hours? She spent 10 hours
Okay,
making a pair of jeans?
So I talk at club about this, and we should have recorded this. I was like on a roll. It might as well have been like Conan O'Brien.
You
or
were having a high, a
Johnny
jeans
Stars.
high. You were having
And
a jeans
Gracie's
high.
in the front row going, "Girl, you crazy!" Like, 'cause I was saying all these things about like crotches and butts and fitting and you know, some things that are like just semi-risque, you know, but everyone's cracking up and laughing, even the people who probably don't want to make their own jeans. Okay, so I talk about the jeans, and people are like, okay, how long did it take you? We talk about
Right.
that a little bit. I talk about my custom butt art. And then this longtime customer and friend comes up in front of club and talks about this quilt that she and her friends are making called the Dear Jane quilt. And I don't think you were there.
No, I wasn't.
No, okay, I'll show you a picture of this quilt. And I remember these dimensions, which is crazy. It's 13 blocks by 13 blocks.
Mhm.
They're very small. Like, not very, I guess they're
Right.
like inchy quilts, but these are, I don't know, 4 or
So
5
that's
inch.
like 157, 9 blocks or something.
Yeah,
whatever.
something
Yeah.
like that. So it's that many blocks, and they are all different techniques, okay? So like
Okay.
a super neat sampler, they're all different,
Mhm.
okay? And then the sides, the borders of the Dear Jane quilt are triangles and then a scalloped edge. And Jeannie, her name's Jeannie. We should just say that. Jeannie was talking about how they're doing 8 blocks a month, to get through this quilt. And they are, then a lot of the Dear Jane quilts you see out there, they don't have the triangle border on them because people's measurements get off as they make the quilt. And it's not perfect, so it's easier just to bind it right then, and stuff. And I while Jeannie was up there, I was like, guys, Jeannie and, her friends, they're making this quilt over, it's going to take them years or whatever. And I said, we all sew. And then Jeannie finishes the sentence with me. What we want to sew.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, we all sew what we want to sew. And I know that maybe it seems crazy to some people to make your own jeans. But then I talk to everybody and I'm like, well, how do you like how the jeans fit you in the store?
Right.
And everybody says I hate them.
Well, you probably spend 10 hours trying on jeans to get to a pair that almost fit you okay.
Right. I'd rather spend 10 hours happily at my sewing
and
machine than 5 minutes crying in the store.
And I can give my why are jeans a good value talk. And jeans are a good value because they're timeless. They're rugged and they wear well.
Mm-hmm.
Once you get a pair that fits, you never want to give them up.
Right.
You can wear them anywhere, and you can dress them up and you can dress them down.
So you can wear them anywhere.
So when somebody says I paid $200 for a pair of jeans and people freak out, I think it might be the best value she's ever put into her wardrobe ever.
Yeah.
Because, you can pay $50 for a pair of shoes and you can't wear them everywhere and you can't wear them for everything and they will wear. So,
and a $200 pair of jeans. So I've never owned a $200 pair of jeans. But I would assume that they are also high quality jeans, not just
but they may still not fit you
on there. And they may not fit you, sure. Right. But yes. So how much money did I spend on my jeans? I think the biggest expense in jeans is you gotta have a sewing machine.
Well, right.
Because the fabric's like $15 a yard.
Right.
Okay.
So maybe $30 in fabric.
Maybe, yeah. I was telling them to buy 2.5 yards of fabric. I don't need 2.5 yards.
Because you have short legs.
Not just the short. I'm a size 10. I'm right in the middle.
You're not real big and you have short legs.
I can lay those leg patterns out a certain way and fit it in less fabric. Right. But I wanted them to get that in case they make a mistake or we have to recut something or something like that, And so there's $45.
Well, not
maybe.
even that.
Yeah, in fabric. Right. And then, thread, it doesn't take any more thread than anything else. And,
you should have a denim needle.
Yeah, you need a denim needle.
That's $4 or $5 to buy a pack of needles.
I didn't put rivets in my jeans.
Right.
Yet. I could.
Well, I have a thing about rivets.
Yeah,
I don't particularly like them. I don't like what they do to furniture.
Yeah, I don't like to sit on them either.
In fact, when I was a young child and I went to the roller skating rink,
you couldn't have rivets.
You couldn't have rivets on your pants because they tore up their floor and stuff, right?
So I did to fit my jeans. I measured myself. I measured the pattern. I did lots of referencing. And that's what people are really getting in this jeans class I'm teaching.
Well, the other thing is...
Go ahead. Hold on. Okay. Feel free to compliment me, Mom. No.
That's what I was trying to do.
Oh, okay.
But obviously, again, we are talking over each other.
Just give me a moment, okay? So I basted the jeans together like she recommends before actually constructing them. So I cut out all the pattern pieces, basted them at 5/8 inch seam allowance, and put them on my body. And the only person in the shop was our technician, and I ran to the back with my fly pinned shut, and I'm like, "Hey, look at my jeans," and he was like, "Good job," And so anyway, they fit pretty nicely. And Heather says that you need to baste every pair together because
every fabric's a little different.
Every fabric can be different. Well, I will say,
and even the way you cut sometimes is different.
I will say that knowing my body the way I do, I don't think, this will be tested out as I make my second and third and fourth pair of gingers because they're all cut out and ready to go. I don't think I'm going to baste them all together. I don't have a hard crotch or butt to fit, okay? So I'm going to sew them up and stop at the side seams. I will top stitch my inseam. I'm going to do my fly zipper. I'm going to put the pockets on and everything. I'm going to then
Base
the side seam.
But you've already made the entire garment.
Yes.
Right?
Okay. So just FYI, that's something I'm going to do, and I guess I'll let y'all know how it goes. But I'm pretty confident it'll be okay for me.
And I mean, what for my 2 cents in this thing is, you can go to the store and you can buy 2 garments that are labeled exactly the same out of the same fabric, and someone will say, "But this pair fits better." Somebody else sewed it.
Humans
whatever.
made it, yeah.
Whatever. Yeah. I mean, there will always be a little bit of difference.
Right.
It might not be big.
What was
a big
the compliment
difference.
you were going to give me?
I guess I forgot it.
Oh.
The compliment I was going to give you is, and this isn't only in jeans. Of course, this is in a lot of things. But the people who are taking your class, it won't take them as long. You've already done the dirty work. You figured out things. You know where to go with them. So it might not even take them as long.
I hope it doesn't.
To do their jeans. And the next pair won't take them as long.
I really do think that I, from making them, have a lot of like, hey, wait a second. You better mark that, or whatever.
And the other thing, I mean, and this is just, when you get to work with someone who's, when people say, "Oh, I don't need the class," nobody needs a class. Most people can figure this stuff out eventually for themselves.
Mm-hmm.
But what it is when you have someone who's doing this day in, day out, they have come across the experiences that maybe you don't have to have all by yourself, if you go to the class. And here's for instance. I was standing in the shop 2 days ago, and somebody walks in with their serger, and they're like, "Oh my gosh, it doesn't work." And what I know about a serger, and anybody who wants to can quote me on this, if you have a self-threading, self-tensioning baby lock serger and you're getting a lousy stitch, it's you.
Yep. It's me.
It is not the machine. How I
sewer.
know? How I know? Because anytime I've gotten a bad stitch, it was me.
Yep.
But, she's upset. She's trying to sew something. I sat her down. I immediately looked at the machine, and I saw where she was not really in one of the tension areas she should have been in. And, I fixed it. She goes, "Well, how did you know that?" And I said, "I do this a lot.
Yeah.
I don't even have to think about it anymore."
So I know what mistakes I made on the ginger jeans, and
hopefully you can help those people avoid them. And that's the compliment I'm trying to give you. You did a good job figuring it all out.
Oh, thank you. So with the ginger jeans, I constructed them in a way I don't think a lot of people get to construct them, because I'm very lucky to have lots of awesome equipment at my disposal. And I want to talk about how I put them together. I used a 5-thread safety stitch to stitch my jeans together. And so you can have this stitch if you have like a 5-thread serger of some kind.
Or a combination.
Or a combination. Now we sell the baby locks at the shop, and the machine that I did these on is the Ovation, and it's an 8-thread
and it deserves an ovation. It's amazing.
It's amazing serger. I mean, I don't have to. We'll do a whole episode on it.
It even has a knee lift. Oh my gosh.
That's one reason I wanted to use it, because it had a knee lift.
Right.
And so what was going on as I stitched, I used a chain stitch. And then I used a 3-thread overlock stitch at the same time. So that's where the 5 threads come in. 3-thread overlock stitch on the serger is 1 needle and 2 loopers, and a chain stitch in chain stitch or cover stitch land is 1 needle and 1 looper. And so as I put the jeans together, and this is where I am glad that I basted them first, because wanting to use this technique, I'm cutting off some of my seam allowance.
That's right.
So I was happy to baste them. And I'm happy that Heather tells you to do that, in the pattern. And so I did that, and I love it. I love that they're finished and sewn at the same time. It totally saved me a step. Maybe that's why it might take somebody else longer if they have to overcast or do a flat felt seam.
I'm telling you, they'll just look really good on you, too.
And then I top stitched, and if you've listened to our designer jeans hem episode that we recorded, Mom is a big proponent of teaching people how to hem jeans with using embroidery thread or normal weight construction thread. It's easier to use. It's more accessible
than the coordinate jeans thread.
The coordinate. And when I was talking about ordering coordinate thread, you were like, "Oh, that stuff's gross," and da-da-da.
No. I said you have to be really careful.
And
you can be unsuccessful.
I found the good stuff.
Right.
And we are carrying it, and it is Metler polyester, and it's 30 weight.
30 weight, right.
It's it's not like even a 12 weight
No,
or something.
no.
It's number 30 weight thread.
I think the 30 weight makes a big difference.
I think it does too. And it's a smooth polyester.
It is.
It's not a hunky, chunky,
It's
gross.
the hunky junk, flaky cotton,
Yeah.
rotten cotton stuff.
No, it's some really nice stuff. And I think that Heather suggests Scooterman, and we really like Mettler thread. So I will suggest the Mettler as another option for you. And it comes in so many colors, and I'm about to make like a purple floral pair, and it comes in like purple. So I'm using that. And then, I didn't put rivets on. I don't think I'm going to. And I did, though, I put in a jeans button, and I did a hand-bound buttonhole, which was probably one of the most time-consuming parts of the jeans making experience.
The funniest part about that is someone that works for us that does a lot of handwork.
She goes, no, I'll just tell you, it's Jane. Jane, you come into our store and you look at some of our samples that are done, like beautiful,
done by Jane.
Beautiful
Gorgeous,
handwork.
amazing work.
She does all these crazy quilting things, and she just comes up and she goes, I didn't know why that was called the buttonhole stitch. She goes, duh. And it's so funny. She was hilarious about it. She does all this beautiful hand crazy quilting. The buttonhole stitch is also called the blanket stitch, if you don't know that, so it's that stitch. So funny that she did that. But you know what I think I might do in the future? I think I'm going to put a snap on them. I like snaps.
Right.
I think I might do a snap. And so, my jeans fit me freaking awesome. The jeans that I was wearing before this were, Mom and I went to a department store very soon after I had the baby.
Right.
Like, she is itty bitty, like not even talking, like making noises or anything.
No, she was a newborn.
She was like 6 weeks old or something. And we bought these like jegging things, and they fit me. My body was still,
fluid.
Yeah. Oh, it's so gushy, squishy. You know what I mean? And things like that. And so I liked these jeggings at the time, and I think I got like 5 pairs or something, and they were on sale and and everything. I cut some off into shorts. I cut some off into capris, etc. And then as I started to lose weight, they were falling down, and they were falling onto my widest belly part and making me look really frumpalicious. And I just would sometimes look in the mirror and be like, I just don't deserve to look like this. Like, I just don't. There's no reason that I have to look like this, And when I made the jeans, and I did make the high-waisted version, and I got down on the floor with my kid, and I got back up, and I played outside and all this stuff, and they stayed up on my waist.
Because high-waisted version is the most complimentary on anyone.
Well, and I don't talk about complimentary. I think it's a big practical thing for me, because I don't tuck my shirts in.
Right.
So my shirts are flowing down, and I don't get the muffin top bump because of that.
That's why high-waisted.
Yeah, that's why they're flattering.
They're most flattering.
And so I love that part about it. I use some cone denim, which is what Heather recommends as well, and we also carry that in our store.
And tell them what cone means.
Cone Mills is a fabric mill in South Carolina.
It's basically a brand. So don't go look just for cone denim thinking like, cone is not generic.
Right.
It is
no,
the brand
it's
name.
a brand.
Like Levi would be a brand name.
It's a brand. And if you search them on Instagram, like, denim is so popular right now in terms of people making their own, everything. And so anyway, search the hashtag cone denim and you'll see some stuff. And we've got it, we've got yardage.
And spell it for them.
CONE.
Right.
Yep, like a pine cone.
Right.
That's their logo, is a pine cone.
Mm-hmm.
And so anyway, it's milled in the USA. It's such nice texture. We've got black, we've got a dark navy blue, and we have an indigo that is dyed with indigo that's grown in Tennessee.
Yeah.
Which I think is super duper cool.
So even though she's from Canada, she's using American fabric.
Yeah, there you go. Well, it's one of the last denim mills in North America at all, So,
well, and there is a resurgence of things being made in the USA
and made here. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And so it's so funny because I feel like this might be a gross generalization. I feel like a lot of the people are like, oh, you made your own jeans. How long did that take you? And then they're like, I got this really good deal at Walmart. And then they're all like, where are your sewing machines made? And I
Okay.
was like, oh, okay, this is all
Right.
very disparate.
Where do you think Kmart's jeans are
yeah,
made?
exactly. I'm like, hello, everyone. You know.
Well, the other thing too is
anyway.
they bought those
Yeah.
jeans. They probably didn't fit them quite right, and they're
Yep.
probably still in pursuit of a pair of jeans that fit better. And they'll be buying 5, 6, 7 pairs
Yeah.
of jeans to your one.
My
I'll bet
jeans
you
are
anything.
priceless.
Right.
And
Absolutely.
you know, and they fit me in the calves. I had to actually
That's
go
right.
a little bigger in the calves, you know. And I wrote a blog post about this. This is all I'll have it in the show notes.
So what we get down to is, I gave Mallory good jeans.
Good jeans to make jeans for my ZD.
She has the jeans to make jeans.
For my ZD jean and my Zelda jean, and yeah, so on and so forth. So let us know if you've made your own jeans, if you've made ginger jeans, or I know there are a couple other patterns out there I've seen on Instagram, people making and stuff.
There's people drafting their own patterns, right?
Making them from another pair or anything
Right.
like that. Tell us about it in the comments. Leave us a nasty review or a nice review, either way. And
Or if you have a jeans like hint,
yeah,
please put that there. Please
put it in there. All right. Well, have fun sewing, everybody.
So long.
Thanks for listening to Sewing Out Loud. For even more expert sewing advice, visit sewhere.com.